Hey there, welcome back to Tennille Talks. So this reading is about the Barons of Teemu. Now, these barons have a lot of money and a little magic, right? And sometimes people that have access or who are close to magic have a tendency to think that they themselves are magical. So we are going to be talking about how the Barons of Teemu, these groups that use witchcraft to spark financial gain in their life. We're going to talk about how they do it, but we're also going to talk about how you hacked the system. Okay? And so let's get into it. And so when we're talking about witchcraft, we're talking about using magic, but the way I'm speaking about it is I'm talking about using magic for wicked purposes, right? The origin of this magic is evil. This magic was created as an energy that represents the enemy of God, right? So it moves against creation. It moves against the Most High. The witchcraft that these barons use, they take pleasure in doing things that harm other people, right? But the pleasure that this brings them, there's a reason why this would give them gratification, right? To cause another harm, how could this bring them so much pleasure? And why? And who is it that they like to harm the most, right? Okay, here it is. So the way that the barons use this witchcraft is they try to put you in a box or under a spell of limitations. When this spell hits you, you become fearful, doubtful. All of a sudden, you feel not free. You feel like you cannot act and you feel worried. Now, this could be about something big. This could be about something small, but this is how it normally will come on. This is how they like to initiate the spell work. It could be a simple fear, a fear that's familiar, something that you don't recognize as being abnormal. But the idea is they want to find a limitation that you already have living inside of you, right? And so they find it, they touch it, and they activate it. It's like you having a wound and they want to rip off the Band-Aid so that they can activate that wound and use it to cause you pain. This is why shadow work is so important, because when you remove the wounds, well, then they have nothing to limit, because you don't carry fear and you don't carry doubt. You're not worried about anything, you know? And if you are, you just do it afraid. So the witchcraft limits you. It limits you so that you yourself step in a space of stillness. Remember, nothing anybody outside of you can do to you is more powerful than what you can do, muster, or summon up yourself. Nothing outside of you is more powerful than you. Right? And so the idea is for you to live in the fears that you already have. They just want you to tap into the weaknesses that you are naturally carrying around, the natural doubts. We're human, right? They want you to live in your humanness. They want you to drop your divinity. Now, once you pick up these limitations, this is what that energy does when it comes into you, right? You pick up the limitations. Now you're living in fear so much that you stop. Whatever walking or progress or movement you were making in your life, they want you to start thinking about how worried you are about something, that the pace in which you are moving in your life, you start to slow down. So think about when you're approaching a red light. You're driving in a car, right? The speed at which you are going when the light is green is going to be different when you see the light being red. And so when they limit you, it's almost like they want to send you a yellow light, but there's no yellow light in your life that is saying slow down. There's nothing that is saying be afraid, don't go, you're not free. Nothing, right? Everything is green for you. But they manifest these yellow lights that make you think that you need to slow down, you need to be cautious. Now, if you believe the yellow lights they are sending you, you will manifest a red light and your life will stop. You'll slow down, you'll be still, right? Now, here is the power in the stillness. That's okay. That's okay. All right, fine. So I believed in the doubt you sent me. I believed in it so much so that now I'm stuck, right? I don't know where to go. I've got work to do here. Your stillness is almost like a gas station that you haven't opened up yet. You just don't know that yet. When the limitations take you a place of stillness and you begin to feel stuck, when you recognize that you've slowed down, I want you to recognize that this is where the divine is. It is in the stillness that we meet the Most High. So you go within, you listen to your higher self, but you also forgive yourself and you forgive others. When I say forgiveness, I'm talking about you're exchanging energy, right? Forgiveness means somebody has hurt me and I am going to carry around this energy because of this offense. Forgiveness says, I'm going to put this offense down because I could better use that power, right? You came into my life, you did something to me that caused me harm, right? You misused my power that I gave to you. I gave you power so that you can access me. Well, the access you had to me, you caused me harm. I forgive myself for allowing you to have that power or that access, not for what you did with it, but I just forgive myself for this situation, right? Meaning I understand that I didn't choose this. Somebody chose to do this to me, right? So forgiveness is not saying I accept what you did. No, I don't accept what you did to me, right? But what I will accept is my power back. I'll accept what you misused. I'll accept what you abused, right? And you can go on your way. So when you are in stillness, it is really good to look at all the ways that you have misused your power, because the barons with the witchcraft, they have found the ways that you have misuse your power. That's how they've been able to limit you. So when you get to this place of stillness, it's really here where you have the ability to expand beyond a version of yourself that you haven't been before, right? But it will take a few rounds, a few years, a few episodes of this type of witchcraft to come towards you for you to really understand what it is they're trying to use it for. And so I want you to imagine that you're a bull, okay? Now, when you get to a place of stillness, it would be equivalent to a bull that was running around a ring, running around. And then imagine that this bull gets tranquilized and now the bull starts to slow down. Well, if you're a bull rider, when is it easier to mount the bull? When he's running full force or when you've tranquilized him and now you can slow him down a little bit? Well, the Barons of Teemu with a lot of money and a little magic, they essentially use witchcraft to tranquilize you. You're like this divine bull, something that nothing outside of you can control. And so the witchcrafts get you to slow down so that they can mount you. Well, when they mount you, it's almost like for just a moment they can live or have access to your energy, right? They can understand what it's like to be in the world and not of the world. They want your divine flow. They want to be in your energy so that they can watch for the signs. They want to experience what it is like to be divine in a fallen world, in a fallen realm, right? And so you are a bull. You know, I looked up a bull, and it says sometimes bulls can represent ignoring distractions, right? Because bull riding, it kind of teaches you the importance of ignoring the worldly distractions and kind of staying focused on the Most High. We have that gift and that ability when we come here. We don't always know that, but we do have something special that kind of keeps us linked in and tapped into the Most High no matter what we go through in our environments. And when they mount you, that is that source. That is what they just want to experience our divinity. But the crazy thing is that we don't always understand that we have it or we hold it, right? Because we've been tranquilized. They slowed us down. They limit us. We've been stuck in fear. This is a witchcraft to get us to get to a pace where they can have a little bit of control. Now, most times this is going to be short-lived, right? This is short-lived perfection. And whenever they have the ability to mount us, it's almost like they want to uncover hidden motives. They want to look for the secrets. They want to look for the plots that we hold with the Most High, right? Just for a moment, they just want to experience the divinity and the flow. Now the curses, right? So there's witchcraft, right? That's that practice of the wicked magic. used by the secret covens to mount us, even if it's short-lived. It allows them to exist in our flow. And all the while they are existing in our flow, we may be feeling like we're not really sure if we can be ourselves. Am I able to do what I love? Can I follow my passion? Can I become who I want to be? Being able to say, yes, I can to any of those statements is what they would like to interrupt. And so mounting you and interrupting your flow, limiting you to only live in your fears and doubts, so much so that you slow yourself down. This is how we create the ideal situation for them. Once they mount you, they start to look for something specific. They are looking for ways to cause an abrupt change in a situation. Remember, if they can cause an abrupt change in your life, they also have the ability to gain in the marketplace or have a turn for better in business in their own life. But they need that creative, divine light and love energy. As a lower vibrational being, they don't have the ability to create. They don't carry what we get. Yes, many have vessels, but the energy and the vibration, they need what we hold. They need what we carry. And so there are whole systems and companies laid out to make things like this happen, to make it possible for a divine being to be mounted. Just think about your life. Think about all the things that exist that limit you, that make you feel like you're not as big as you are. You're not as great as you are. Think about all the things that are thrown at you. What did I say about a bull? It's to be able to stay focused on the Most High no matter what. They want to take the bull out of you, that ability to do that, right? And so if they have to tranquilize you with witchcraft to make you think that the world is a bunch of yellow lights so that you don't stay on go, then that's what they'll do, right? And then when they tranquilize you to get you to slow down at those yellow lights, the idea is to get you to stop so that they can get on and they can hop in and they can ride in your energy and in your frequency, because it is when they are existing in your flow that they have access to financial gains. They're looking for the gems. They're looking for the nuggets while they are in the standstill. But here's the thing. After you've experienced this type of witchcraft enough times, after you've gone through this curse again and again and again, you start to build a resilience. There's adversity, right? This is what people don't understand, is that this is very much your assignment and your lesson as it is theirs, right? And so something has to expire. The ride, the run, the lick that they would consider divine beings to be, at some point there is an expiration date, because expansion and evolution cannot be stopped, right? And so while you are existing in the standstill, don't resist and be honest. The soul loves truth. If they can get you to be still, then there is something that the Most High felt you could benefit from looking at while you were in the stillness. So if you are in stillness right now, if you feel like you are stuck, imagine it's like quicksand, right? How do you become unstuck when something is not progressing? You got to acknowledge where you are. Because acknowledging and accepting where you are is what's going to get you to start to manifest and create the next place. But if you're like, I hate this, I can't stand this, I hate it here, this sucks, all of that, that's resisting the space that you're currently in. And so notice what's not working. Move steady. Take little steps to remove the barriers. You don't want to resist, but you also don't want to aggressively move while you're in a standstill. Right? You want to be smooth, you want to be gentle, but the soul loves truth. What's not growing in your life? Tell yourself the truth. How am I supposed to get unstuck? Find the truth. But you got to acknowledge where you are. You being able to tell yourself the truth is you being able to use light Truth is a tool of the Most High. And so when we are in darkness, when we are in a trap, whether it is self-inflicted, whether we have chosen this, or there is an energy that we fell prey to, it doesn't matter, right? Truth is truth, and it is a tool that you can use to wiggle yourself out of anything. Being honest about the space that you are in, being honest about everything that you're feeling, just bringing light and awareness, just illuminating the reality has the ability to break the web, to break the spell that made you think that this was a yellow light, so much so that you made it a whole red light, right? Bringing truth is what gets us unstuck. The point of these curses is about achievement. It's about fame, notoriety, reputation, purpose, professional life. It's about status. It's about the outer world. It's about stealing your inner divinity. It's about stealing your inner jewels to decorate their outer world, right? And it's almost like you guys are walking around here with treasure and you're looking like bums, right? And they just don't possess the intelligence and the knowledge and the understand. They will never be able to understand the path, the mission, the connection. They won't get it, right? And that is darkness. It is the absence of knowledge. It is the absence of awareness, and duality must exist. And you are aware. And one of the ways we become aware is because we see things that don't have it, that don't possess it. Right? And not only does it make us become aware of who we are, but it makes us chase more. We want to know more. And so the duality and the darkness that chases us and almost persecutes us is always making sure that we almost continue this expansion. We need it to continue to chase us towards the light. But when you understand your power, you can stop the chase. You can really control this thing. And this is what this reading is revealing, that at some point, the confusion, the lacking, you not being able to interpret what you were going through, being able to cause a breakdown in your life, getting you to mishandle your own life. It allows somebody else to come in and to swoop up all the benefits and the perks of what it is to be you, right? As long as you're checked out and you're tranquilized and they are able to mount you, they live in your flow. But when you sort through that breakdown in communication between you and the Most High and you and your own truth, the game changes. This is when miracles happen, right? This is where you kind of grow your witchcraft muscles. And so an unexpected event, something unexpected, something that disrupted the flow of these societies or this curse with you specifically, is that when you were at the standstill, when you were in the stillness, you didn't resist. And you used truth, you used light to show yourself all the ways that you were stuck in the darkness that was very much an illusion. Right? And so this is how miracles start to happen. Light, truth, those are miracles. When you want a miracle, I want you to use some of the divine tools that you have access to. Forgiveness, truth, integrity, adversity, honesty. Yes, those are character traits, but those are also divine tools that have the ability to reveal things to us when we are in situations that want to keep us small, that want us to just feel unfree and afraid, right? And so you triggered a miracle, but you triggered a miracle because of how you responded to something outside of you mounting you. You didn't respond in fear, but you may have responded in hope, in faith, in prayer. When we're talking about stillness, we're talking about prayer, right? Sometimes fire cannot be extinguished with fire. And so the witchcraft and the curses, they prepare you to have a conversation with the Most High that you may not have ever known that you could have. And it's because of the level of harm and the level of punishment that has been inflicted on you that has given you the ability to talk, to speak, to connect, to tap in, and to find the Most High at any time, in any place. Like, the strength of your connection is what it is because of what you endured. And so, yes, you know, the Barons of Teemu have a purpose, but that purpose can also be used for your gain, for your expansion, your evolution, and your growth. And that is exactly what happened. The blessings that will flow to you are a reflection of something that you deserve, right? Essentially, the storms of the past are going to be over. So the dreams that you couldn't access, right? The good fortune that was off limits, those things come back to you when you start to unstick yourself, right? And you're like, yo, my life is guided. Why am I how long am I going to sit at this red light? My life, I am not like them. They are not like me, right? It is you recognizing that the limitations are false, right? The limitations I'm believing in, this is something wicked. It wanted to reduce my origin, but I come from the Most High, right? Only evil would want me to live in ignorance of who I am, because it can benefit. And so recognizing your life is guided, you tend to do that in moments of standstill when something is attempting to take your flow. You do it in stillness, right? So if you find that you are still and stuck or slow, potentially there could be something outside influencing you, right? So find the fear that is allowing the outside influences to live. Something inside of you is allowing the witchcraft to live alive. And so this is where you speak to the Most High. Why do I feel like I continue to fall prey to this? What is it that's inside of me that I need to do? You know, these are just real, holistic conversations that have the ability to break any stronghold, that can break any curse. It is you and the Most High. You don't have to buy nothing. You don't have to go anywhere, wear anything, take a class. You don't have to purchase a reading. You don't have to watch. You don't have to do anything. It is a conversation that happens in the stillness. So consider your stillness and your stuckness to be a gift. It is a setup for you to speak to your Creator about the position that you are in and how you feel about it, right? And so what was unexpected is that you would do this, that you would yell, you know, it's okay to be myself. I don't have to slow down. I don't have to sit at a red light. There's nothing wrong with me. I am who I am. When you begin to own your divinity and your God power and your God body, things change. You begin to evict anything that attempted to mount you or live in your flow, right? And this is called the power of the mind. Your mind connects to the divine. They don't have a mind that connects. Their origin is of evil, right? Their creator or they follow the adversary of the Most High. And so when they tap in, they can't tap into what you tap into, which is why they attempt to mount you, or they attempt to limit you from tapping into your true source. And so I want you to know that your mind, your intellect, your ability to reason, to use language, and to communicate, not really with your tongue, but energetically, that is your power. That is what you stand on. That is your force. That is how you make your decisions. This is how you take control. The rage, the anger, right? Those are the things that you use to channel. You take that rage, you take that anger, and you take it to the Most High. You take it to Source. There's no other place to take it except, listen, you just go tell. Just go tell on them. Just go tell on them, right? But you got to know who to tell. You got to know where to go. If you start calling everybody that you're related to, or going to work and talking about it, or telling the wrong people about a divine problem represents the fact that you really don't understand your own divinity. It reveals that you are out of alignment. And there's no problem that's not a divine problem. I think everything we face, no matter how small or how big, those are little spiritual ceremonies that we can practice, spending time with the Most High. Every problem, a hangnail, a paper cut, right? And this is not to be petty, but this is just to literally say that I matter in every way, right? I can talk about anything to the Most High at any time. I'm never cut off. And so when these situations get big and when you feel trapped and stuck and in prison, I want you to know that that is the time where the conversation needs to be the strongest. And it has the potential to be the strongest because you are totally slowed down. You're still. That is the divine flow. The reason why they slow you down is to get in the divine flow so that they can mount you, right? And so recognize that you have something of use. It's in your mind, right? It's in your mind. You stood on business. I'm seeing you as somebody that refused to be mounted at some point in time. And the refusal, it was a mental refusal, right? It was something that you knew and chose in your mind that you wouldn't allow. I'm not going to get off my post. I'm not leaving, the way I feel about, it's okay to be me. I'm not leaving. I'm not changing. I'm not moving. Like at some point, at some point, it's almost saying, okay, if you come at me again, well, then I guess you're choosing violence. Not that you are, but it's just saying I am so locked into me that anything that comes against me, it's going to have to be a war because I will choose nothing other than my divinity and my connection to the Most High. Nobody will have access to me. Right? You do this with your mind. You tell yourself this, you think this, you feel this. And this is how you start to break the webs. This is how you start to cut through the illusions. Well, your success has come to you, or there will be a time of fulfillment, contentment, and celebration because of the power of your mind. Because you led with your mind, you will now be able to have almost like a rest period where you can take time to recharge. So if you know that you have been through a series of mountings, right? AKA energies, entities, people essentially wanting to limit you and slow you down so that they can mount your energy. They mount you by getting you to live under a curse. While you are living under that curse, they are able to access financial gains, right? Or changes in the situations in their life. But under the curse, while in the darkness or under the cloak or at that red light waiting, not really sure what's going on, it is in the standstill where you looked or where you should look for the Most High. Seek and you will find. Find all the ways that you are ready for change. And this is where the miracle comes, right? Everything that they could hang on to inside of you to make that witchcraft and curse thrive and continue, those are the things you change. So when they come back again, they can't hook onto anything. There's nothing to anchor onto. And so it doesn't feel good to be in the curse, but while in the curse, right? There are gems to collect. Your divinity works while cursed. Your divinity still works while witchcraft is being used on you. You are never not divine, ever. And you must be in certain situations to see how your divinity works in that setting too. And this is what you did. This is why the surprise, this is why the season of miracles comes. It's because of mentally what you did. It was the power of your mind, the power of you being unshakable, of you not moving, nothing being able to evict you. And so celebrations, it's okay to breathe. You know, celebrations comes in all forms too. So if I say success or a recharge, or, you know, I want you to look for the small miracles. And I want you to imagine that every time you find a small miracle, it attracts another one, but they also grow. This is like that snowball effect, where over time it grows in size. And so find all of the small miracles to build up the energy, to build your eyes, to get yourself excited for the larger ones that are coming, you know, play with that energy, live in that space of recognizing that the stillness and the stuckness and the ignorance to what was truly happening, those are of the past, right? But that was a season, that was a lesson, that was an experience. And yes, the Barons of Teemu are going to move on to another victim, right? They are going to continue to do this, right? They will continue until it is no longer viable. And those days are for many of them, those days are past, right? But this thing goes deep. This thing goes real deep. But just knowing it, just thinking it, just being able, I'm telling you, the power, you have a God mind, the power of your mind. The universe is mental. And so they have created a physical world for you to live in, but yours is mental. You literally could walk around naked and still be the most powerful thing on the streets. Right? It is your mind. It is your mind. And so if they can distract your vessel to get you to live outside of your mind so that they can access the truth, the secrets, and the, you know, just the energy of you, then that's what they'll do. Yeah, that's what they'll do. But the season changed. The season changed because while they were there, I feel like you were looking right at them. I felt like you set up a whole surveillance system, you know, that they didn't know. And so while they were there, I feel like you were learning, you were watching, you were observing, you were collecting, you were strengthening. And then you're like, surprise. You know, all the ways that you have distorted my ability to achieve, my ability to become something, to have a status, to create a purpose, all the ways that you have stopped me from evolving into my greatest self, right? All the yellow lights that I slowed down for, all the red lights that I've stopped at, right? Those were the illusions that worked until they didn't work. Those were the curses I believed in and I thought were real until I didn't. And this is how you take your power back. This is how you surprise them with the miracle that is you. You are a walking miracle, right? And it's the power of your mind. So lead with your mind. Lead with your mind when in stuckness or when in stillness. Lead with your mind because that is the divine. That is how you connect to your divinity. It is your intelligence, your intellect, your ability to think and to process. And so emotions matter, but when we're attempting to get unstuck or to combat stillness, we don't want to resist and panic in fear. You know, emotions don't always tell us the truth, right? They give us an energy that help us look for truth, but they don't always tell us the exact truth. And so use your logic in the event that you have dealt with the Barons of Teemu. The morons with a lot of money and a little magic. I love you. I'll see you on the next one.